All right, everybody, welcome. This is race 8 of the 2024 OVKA karting season. This will be the final of the LO206 Legends class. I'll give you a quick rundown of what happened in the pre-final. I qualified third, so I started in third. Once the race got underway after the first lap, I was in third place. The 318, I believe, qualified second. He was in front of me. But he went off track a little bit on the first lap, got his little, wheels in the dirt, and I went around him, and then basically the remaining 7 laps are me just driving around in second place. But we were coming by, and I know as I'm watching these back, I don't understand why we did not get the green flag right there. Maybe something was happening behind me that I couldn't see, but the pole sitter was ahead of me and going, and I didn't understand that. So we're coming back around for try number 2. Again, it was a nice sunny day. I did also skip race 7. Basically, it was somewhat of a repeat of my earlier videos where I think I didn't have a good outing. I got in about 6th place early on in the race, and just everybody drove in the same position for the remainder of the race. So no high drama. You've seen that kind of stuff before, so I'm skipping it. So here we come around for start number 2. Again, I think it looks good, and again, no green flag. I did not understand what was going on with this. They seemed like they were, like we were coming down at a moderate pace, nicely aligned and, ready to go. So I was fully expecting to get the green flag there, and we didn't get it. So we're coming back around for the 3rd try. Now this is a 12-lap final. If I remember correctly, we are doing the 1X configuration. This one, I really liked this configuration. Once the race gets going, I'll explain the difference. It's not a huge difference, but now we get the green flag, and I got murdered. So right off the bat, I'm in 3rd place, because I was going a little slower, because I thought maybe we were coming down too fast earlier. So I was way off the gas, and he throws the green way far away, and I just got crushed by the 318. So I'm in 2nd place. Or 3rd place, I'm sorry. So we're moving along. Now, one thing I did not change gearing from my previous, from the pre-final. And I knew that I was geared a little taller than the 318. I'm pretty sure that he also did not change his gears either, so he's still, he's got some pull on me coming out of the corners, but I've got the top end. And because this isn't a super technical layout, I didn't really want to, I didn't want to add a tooth. I wanted to at least just try to figure out how to be faster with the higher top end speed. So as you can see, we didn't go through turn 2 back there. We just go right around it like we do on the first lap of every race. This time we did it for every single lap. As you can see, the 318 coming around here, I'm trying to keep it on the inside because I believe the 64 is behind me and he's kind of pretty close, so I'm trying to keep the inside closed off so he can't duck under me. And then try to, create a little distance with my top end speed down here. But the 3N, he starts pulling that gap on me. This is not something new. You've seen this in other videos. But I was determined to try to figure out, because this wasn't too much of a technical turn, how to get around that corner and keep my momentum up, keep my speed up, and then get some benefit from the taller gear at the end of the straightaway. And with this being a 12-lapper, you do get to, as long as you're not getting totally dusted at the beginning, you have time to learn a little as you're driving. So we didn't have a ton of practice, and with only an 8-lap pre-final, throughout the day you might have about, I don't know, maybe about 16 total laps prior to the final. But I was trying to go in deep out here a little bit, then cut it in and ride over the edge of the curb a little bit there. That way I didn't have to really flirt with going into the grass on the exit of the turn. I was trying to get all the turning done early in turn 1. Now we're a couple laps before the halfway point. I'm going to cut a few laps out because it looks like this for about 3 or 4 laps with the 318 well, I don't know, probably about 20 go-kart lengths in front of me, and me trying to figure out how to catch up to him, and basically just trying to smooth out my driving. So we probably have about 5 laps left to go in the race right now. And I'm noticing that it seems to me at this point that I am getting a little bit closer, especially at the end of the straightaway. I'm closing in, and I'm starting to brake a little bit more aggressively and a little later. One of the things I notice that I'll do sometimes is if I do try to do the threshold braking, I will sometimes hold it just a little too long. So I've been trying to threshold brake very quickly, so make it happen and get off the brakes quick before I really kill all my momentum. And so it takes practice. You don't just immediately become a professional at it. But right here you can see I cut in and get really close to the curb right there, and I don't think the 318 gets that close. So at the exit, I don't really have to struggle with trying to avoid going wide out onto the rumble strips or into the dirt. And if I do hit the rumble strips, it's because I want to. But he still can usually get some of his distance back that I make up through here. But it's where I'm hoping to get a little bit more each lap than what I'm giving up. And a lot of it depends also going around this corner right here without having to really lift. If you get the setup just right, you can almost go around that flat out without lifting. But as you can see, I am definitely closer now than I have been. And see, he stays way away from the curb, which I do not. And you can see I just cut off a big chunk of track right there. Now I'm right on him, and I think he knows I'm coming. So again, I come all the way down. I get on the brakes pretty good. Stay right behind him. He's going to probably start to pull right here like he typically does, which he does. I try to chop off as much distance as I can without turning too much because I'm trying to keep the go-kart as straight as I can. And then hopefully, try to keep higher speed through these curves right here, especially this curve here, and not kill my, not be way far behind. Now it looks like I dropped a little bit back right there, but I was not to be deterred. And I apologize for the blob of gunk on my lens. I wish I could, I keep trying to wipe it off while I'm watching this, but that's not going to work. Again, I've closed up right through here. Still losing a little bit of distance right through here, but not a ton. I'm starting to close back in just a little bit through on this time. I was able to keep my foot in it pretty good, so when we come out of this corner, I am closer than usual and probably a little bit higher up on speed, so he's not going to pull on me this time around. So now I'm up pretty close to him coming around this corner, and again, I'd take it a little shallower and chop off that chunk. And I'm definitely geared taller, so I have that little extra at the end, and he leaves it open enough for me to come in. I don't shove him out too wide. I mean, I didn't hug the curb completely, but I was definitely trying not to push him off the track out there. And I make the pass. And I know that the race is getting close to being over. I don't remember if they showed a 2 to go or not, because I was busy looking at the go-kart in front of me. But I do notice right now, holy smokes, it's the white flag. So I'm going to go a little bit defensive, although I don't do it through this corner here. I took that corner like I took it every other lap. And my hope is to stretch it out down through here. And I looked around and nobody was beside me, so I got out so I could hit the corner better. But right through here is where I'm a little bit worried, so I'm going to hug it down through here on the inside. If they're going to pass me, he's going to have to do it on the outside, and nobody gets on my outside. So I popped back out. I mean, there was nobody left or right. I was able to turn my head while I was driving and check. So coming around here, I just need to not totally screw that up, and I'm pretty sure I can, by the time I get to the finish line, I can stay ahead, and I do. I get second place. As you can see, I don't go inside because the 318 did pull up right next to me coming to the line, but I still stayed, I think, about a half a go-kart in front of him. So that is the end of it. That one had a little more excitement, I guess. You got to watch me chase somebody down for the majority of the race. It was fun for me because it was a pretty good challenge, and didn't even realize that the 64, he was right behind us the whole time as well. So I was really only aware of the 318 for the most part. But again, it was a fun race. Again, that was the 1X configuration. The next one, I think, is going to be CX configuration, so that one was a fun one as well. See you at the next video.